My motto is, if it's repetitive, it can be automated, because the benefits of automation could be save time, reduce errors, and increase productivity. As we saw also in the previous talks, AI will probably take our place in jobs. So that means they are pretty better than us. So it reduces errors is one of the key points. A lot of my customers just struggle with repetitive tasks, but also with errors that obviously they are going to use because they copy paste stuff or they write it themselves and they read the wrong numbers and so on. Saves time because every time we automate something, it's time that we save, and we don't have to do something, and this free up time for the day. And increase productivity, basically for those two stuff. With the time we save, we can improve our business, just doing R&D, or just have more free time to enjoy our not working life. What automations for digital nomads sounds like? So we could manage our expenses, so automate the collection and achieve the receipts and expenses, invoicing, this kind of stuff. It is also boring, not only repetitive. Travel planning, receive automatic updates on flights and accommodation bookings. This is nothing new. A lot of services does it for you. But what automation really helps in this is you can do all the stuff and have notification in the same place. You can create an hub and have all the things that saves your daily time in one place, and you can manage them instead of managing the single services. Communication, schedule social media posts and automatic email responses. Both you can do it inside the social media or inside your email provider or clients that you're using, but with the automation you can do it in one place and better. And also you can incorporate AI, not the AI that the social network or the email provider, the email client, provides you, but the AI that you choose. Collaboration, sync project and task among different team members, regardless of their geographic location. This is very useful for people who are working with teams. So, ready to discover more? We're going to talk about Make. Make is a software, it's online, and is a platform where you can automate stuff. You can, in the end, connect different services and transfer data from one service to the other in a no-code environment. That means that you can do this kind of stuff without writing a line of code. Or if you want, you can, because Make does have this feature too, but it's not necessary. And there's a lot of integrations already in Make.com in the platform. I am one of the only 5 certified Make.com experts in Italy, one of the only 2 freelancers, others are agency. And I think it's very powerful and allows everybody to indulge in automation and make automation part of the daily routine. And I think that would really free us time to be more around the globe without working, but with better time in the place that we want as an output. So the philosophy of Make is empowering users to focus on what truly matters by automating the mundane. This is a quote from Make itself, and it really does it. At the beginning, a few years ago, the name was Integromat. Maybe some of you knows it. Since 2022, it's Make.com, and it improved a lot. If you want to follow me in this rundown that I will do in a few minutes, you can scan this code and register on Make.com, or you can do it later after I show you what the platform is capable of. We will have also another QR code at the end if you want to scan it later. Also, there's will be a landing page for you all to download materials and my contents. Afterwards. So, what we're going to do. This is just one of the automation we're going to see. It's not the first one we're going to see, but it's one of the most useful for people who are creating content somewhere. And I'm taking WordPress as an example. You can elaborate and publish the same content, not exactly the same. You can elaborate and create different content based on the first one and publish them in other platforms that usually are social networks, but could also be newslettering or something like that. So I'm going to sit and I'm going to change the setup for this. This is made from a bit. This is the.
Can you zoom in a bit?
Sorry?
You make it bigger, zoom in.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is the main dashboard. You can see here there's a graphic that shows how many operations you use and the data transfer, because this platform based their paid plans on operations and data transfer. We're going through these technicalities through this program. On the left, you have all the menu, and the main one is scenarios. Scenarios are the one we are going. The scenarios are the automation or the algorithm. Each one does something, and you can make it act as complex as you want, and you can take a big one and chunk it in different and smaller scenarios for debugging and something like that. I suggest you to do this. We're going to start with a template because it's just easier. For example, you can scrap YouTube videos by search query. Scratch YouTube videos by search query. So what you see now is two modules. Each disc represent the service. In this case, they are YouTube and Duo Sheets. And for you to use it inside Make, you have to log in those services through Make, and you're going to have access to all the APIs. So the service that they provide. For example, YouTube has these kind of triggers. So triggers are something that happens without your control, and the scenario get the triggers and triggers everything else. So it starts what you do. For example, you can watch video in the channel. That means you watch when a video is uploaded. And those are the triggers: watch video in the channel, or by search, or in a playlist, and so on. What we're using today, just for the sake of doing something easy, let's say, it's a watch video by search. And when you select this trigger, it's this one already, you can just set it up. So, for example, you have to type what the video search query you're going to use. In example, I'll just use it automation. And you can also choose the video category. It's a list, so you don't have to put it down, but you could also map it, and we are going to understand what does mean in a very few minutes. You can set up the date before you want to see which videos are in the search results, or after, and the limit of results you're going to learn. I'm going to run this module and just this one, just to look the output looks like. It's going to take a while, not so long. And here we have the output. The output is subdivided by bundle. Bundle is a very important thing in Make. It's one of the key points of the platform, because each bundle represents one operation you're going to use in the module the bundle is going through. So, for example, YouTube spent one operation. This is the number inside the bubble right next to the YouTube module. And produces 10 bundles, 10 bundles that were the number we put in the results in the YouTube module. That means if I run the whole scenario, the module after YouTube will use one operation for each bundle, therefore 10 operations. What does the second module do? For example, I set up a Google Sheets that saves the result from YouTube and just put it in a Google Sheets. This is what the Google Sheets look like for now. So it has only 5 columns with title, video ID, video URL, thumbnail, and description, because those are the main data we're going to have from YouTube, from the YouTube module. How can I take the information from the YouTube module and put it into the Google Sheets? That's very easy. When you set up the module, you have fields. Automatically, it's not automatic. You select where you want to save those operations, in this case, those data. In this case, in the Google Sheets, I select it beforehand. It's very simple process to select it. Just there's a plus in the field, and you search it for it in your Google Drive. And the sheet name, and you have to say if the table contains header, just because after you're going to see each columns with the header right next to the letter of the column. And when you click on the field, you're going to see these data from here. Those are the data from YouTube. And it's standardized. So every time YouTube, the module of YouTube, puts out something, it has those, let's say, variables that you can use. So if you want to put one of those variables inside the field, you just click it, or you can drag and drop it. This is the simple thing you can do, but you can do much more. We're going to see it in a very short while. Video ID is another data we have, but we don't have from the YouTube results. We don't have the video URL. But we know how the video URL is made, and it's made by this string, https://column//youtube.be/ and then the video ID. So I can just compose the string inside the field, writing down the string and also what part of the data from the modules before I'm going to use. This is a very simple case of combining data from the modules before and extra data that you're going to inject by yourself. You can do much more using function, and we're going to see it in a different scenario. What's the output look like when I run it once? It's going to search for the video in YouTube and stream all the data inside. You can be sitting live. And if I'm going to look into the Google Sheets, I have all the results I need. Why should I do this? Should I do this because I wanted to make market research, or I want to use these data to compose, to feed, for example, AI to automatically give me new ideas for my content, for example. This is the basic we can do with Make. So we have a service, we have data from that service, and we're going to pass this data to another one. As I mentioned before, you have to log into those services inside Make. So for example, that just to make you look how it looks like. I have a connection here. And if I want to make a new one, I just click on the button with add text, and I can pass the name of the connection. Maybe if I spell it right, it's better, and then you can choose. You understand the privacy policy, and then you just sign in with Google. The example for connecting YouTube, for example. If you're going to connect Google, it's going to be a bit different, but it's the same process. You're just going through a login again in another of your services. Let's get another template and another case. So the one I showed you before, the one I showed you in theory before opening this template. So, for example, I have new post in my blog on WordPress. I can feed it to OpenAI, to ChatGPT or Whisper or DALL-E or whatever you are going to use. And also, you can also select other models for other AI. You can, this is a bit complex, but you can text parser the results, because ChatGPT is going to give you results that has a bunch of things that you don't need inside of the results. And after that, you can just streamline the, you can just send all the data you have in different services. For example, let's see if I have an account. Yes. Okay. I'm going to run just the one module and search for new blog post inside one of my websites, and I see new bundles here. 10, if I get it exactly. And after that, I'm going to feed it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT helped me to generate something different. And I'm not a prompt engineer, so maybe this prompt is not perfect, but it does the job. You are a social media manager responsible for creating LinkedIn posts for your tech company. Your task is to write a SEO-friendly tweet, LinkedIn post, and Facebook post in the best format. So I wrote it down, the prompt inside the module, and I put it different parts of the data came from the WordPress module, and just try to avoid anything that I don't need from ChatGPT, saying please do not repeat instructions, do not remember previous instructions, do not apologize, and so on. I'm going to block this route because I don't want the operation going too far. But we're going to look what the results are from the WordPress and from the ChatGPT web error here. There's a module, there's a model that's been deprecated. It happens. Just select it. So what this what Makes is going to do is going through API, ask WordPress, the website, if there's any new posts inside your blog, and WordPress will say yes and get the information from that. As again, we have 10 posts, 10 bundles, which means WordPress found 10 new posts, and ChatGPT will going through each one of them and create what I asked him to create. I just stopped the, I cannot, okay. Usually there's a stop the run, but it's probably not the location now. So ChatGPT is taking a while, but we can already see the results. The results have a lot of information you don't actually need if you're just going to push your new content inside something else. So you're going to search for choices, message, content, and you're going to have what you need. So Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Those are the text for the post. Maybe you don't see it correctly, but it's very small from the back. And ChatGPT creates 3 posts that I can just forward to those platforms. I don't recommend to send those texts without any reviews, because as we know, they're not perfect. They have to be at least curated a bit. And then another feature of Make is to have different paths. This is a router. The router helps you diversify your output from the content. And for example, I'm here. I don't go through everything, but we have three paths. One for X, one for LinkedIn that actually need to download an extra file, and I'm doing with an HTTP model that just through an URL download the file, read that, and also another ChatGPT that elaborates better for the LinkedIn post, and then Facebook pages in this case. What you have to keep in mind is that for every WordPress new posts, each module after that will consume 10 operations, or one operation for each post the first web WordPress module has found. So you have to keep in mind, since the paid plan for make.com is based on operation and data transfer. Each time, for example, I download a new image through an HTTP module or another module that allows me to download an image, those are data that are going to count for the data transfer top that you have in your paid account, if you have a paid account on Make. If you don't want to pay, Make have a free of charge plan. It's has 1,000 operation, and I don't remember how many data transfer, but as long as you don't download heavy images for each scenario run, you're going to be fine, because the data transfer is very loose, so you can just transfer a lot of it. What can you do to avoid this operation to top up? Is you can chunk all the information you have from the previous module into one, just one smaller data registry along with the other modules. For example, here we have set up another scenario that's going to look into an RSS feed and take new posts from them, or the latest posts, and compose a table from them with just the information we need and send it through an email. This is just kind of the content curation, simple task you can do. I'm starting with a Google Sheet because it's easier. In the Google Sheets, we have just three columns. Web develop is the topic, the blog is the planning project blog, that's the blog of my website, and the URL is just the feed of the blog. If I run the Google Sheets are going to search for new rows or rows inside the Google Sheets. That means if the Google Sheets has much many rows, you can filter it, you can search for terms or topic. For example, we have a column for the topic. You can somehow filter inside the module. After that, we're going to feed the RSS module with the URL from the feed from our website. And from there, I'm going to run once from. Sorry. Yes. From there, it's going to see it took one operation from the RSS feed, 9 operations in the next model that is composer stream. We're going to look it in a very short time, and it's going to it composes not 9 strings, so it uses 9 operations, and the last one of this chunk of modules are the table aggregator, which use just one operation to compose all the 9 bundles before into one table, as we need. So RSS uses one operation and provide 9 bundles. That means therefore 9 articles. Each new article is set in this way to provide a new string just with what we want from the data from the RSS feed, so URL, title, data of the latest updates, and the description, and it's composed in an HTML string because we're going to compose an HTML table and we're going to send it through an email. And this is just what the table aggregator does. So for example, it takes everything from before and it sets it in a table. We provided the HTML and the table is going to be done from this module automatically. And then we send it through an email. This is just a list of the RSS results we have. And this is just something very simple you can do to create a newsletter. So, for example, you're going to take the latest article you have in your blog or in several blogs that you are following. You doesn't have to be yours, and just you set it up in a table to send to your readers. So you can create the content and feed them and say, this is what I read lately, and this is what you could read it to. Obviously, this is so simple that you don't even put yourself into the content you send it through the newsletter or to send it through email. I don't recommend to do that. This is just for showing the capability of mail, and I suggest you inside this operation that you're doing with the content to put something else. Therefore, you could, for example, put a module for ChatGPT or something other generative stuff, and ask them to re-elaborate or to do an excerpt of the articles you found in the feeds, and so on. So this is just what the capability of Mails are. Just keep in mind, Make is just a platform that connects different services. You have to already have the services or you have to use it somehow. This is something that you could do also for generating new ideas for your blog post or to write it down with ChatGPT or other integrations, new content for your social network, social platforms. Let's see another template. This is something that I just for CEO or just for generate keywords from an organic made content. Again, I am using Google Sheets just for the sake of this test, but you can also take those data from a worksheet you're going to use with your team or with other person that you are working with. We're going again to search rows inside the Google Sheet, inside those Google Sheets, which is here. I wrote down a bunch of title, excerpt, and content. Those are 10 articles. That is I just asked ChatGPT to generate it just to be quick. And I'm going to run through them. One of the fields of one of the columns of this Google Sheets could also be the whole content of your article. And you can ask ChatGPT to generate keywords from an existing, from the content you already wrote, to better click inside the content to put new keyword and better make, let's say, the content SEO friendly. After that, see, again, I use the ChatGPT module. The message content I put it was just a prompt, and I used the data from the Google Sheets. And after that, I'm going to complete, let's say, the table, just put the results, so the keywords, hopefully from ChatGPT, into the right column that was the column D. of the same row, obviously. So I selected the spreadsheet from the modules before, the Google Sheet module that I was using. I selected the seed name, again, from the same, I'm not writing down, it's not hard-coded. The row number is going to be the same row number from the data we're using and we're feeding ChatGPT, and then we just add the columns of the Google Sheets that automatically read, and we're going to feed the actual message from the content of the message from ChatGPT into the Google Sheets. So again, it's going to read the 10 rows inside Google Sheets. It provided with one operation. We're generating 10 bundles. Each bundle is generating a new operation inside ChatGPT, and this is going to be 10 operation costs, and then another 10 operations to pass the new keywords inside the Google Sheets. Of course, it's going to be a bit generic, maybe. It's going to need you to review the results, obviously, but it's going to save you a lot of time because you can just generate new idea, new keyword, or you can just feed the ChatGPT module with content from other bloggers or your competitor, and just ask ChatGPT what this content is about, what are the keywords inside of it, and you can just save it somewhere else and produce content from those keywords for your own from your own blog. Lastly, another thing that you can do, and it's very important when you're going to have a much bigger scenario. We're going to see it from something we already saw. As I told you before, you can use a router to split the streamline of your data in different paths. And obviously, each path has to be a filter. Or, I mean, if you don't put a filter on each path, the data will go through each one. So, for example, I'm producing 3 content from ChatGPT. This was the case here. I'm producing 3 content from ChatGPT, coming up with just one message that I have to split it out. After that, so I have one content with 3 posts inside of it. If I don't use the filter, they just send the whole content of the message through LinkedIn and through Facebook pages, which I don't want to. So I'm using the Twitter, I use the text parser to produce different bundle, let's say. I'm splitting the message content to different chunk of text. And then I'm going to filter the results of the text parser into the right path. So for example, if the result from the text parser is 1, that means it's for the content is for Twitter. I'm going to filter it and send it to text or from the Twitter. If the result from the text parser is 2, that means it's for LinkedIn. I'm going to send it to the path that link to LinkedIn, and so on for Facebook pages. So those are, let's say, those are filters, and using routers and filters allows you to build very complex automation that can help you streamline your work. The most complex one, just to give you an example, I built for one of my customers, not a big business, but they build with a very, let's say, singular task. They are doing device repair, device fixing. So they have a shop in Italy, but they want to reach out for the whole country, for everybody could send them their device to be repaired. These producers, so they have a website and it's an e-commerce and they sell the services. These producers a different approach from the website itself. So when a customer is going to buy a service, the first thing they have to do is to allow the customer to send the device to them if they are not providing anything to be sent to it immediately. So the automation take the order, ask the API from the logistic partner to send somebody to take the box from the client, and this arrives to the shop, they prepare it, and the second delivery from the same order is going to come take the device back to the actual customer. This was the idea. It became very much more complex because every step has, let's say, a checkout, and the customer receive a lot of notification regarding where the clusters are, how's the condition of the device. So we have to reassure the customer that it's going to be okay with the device, because they are sending iPhones, so they're not just lightly sending in a box to some place in the country. So these are just something that you can do with Make. Make it's a very powerful tool, and it's something that you can leverage to really streamline your workflow in the daily routines, because they can do a lot for you when you can just relax or focus on something more important. For example, if you set up a very good automation, you can just forget about some of the tasks because you will adjust the result of them, and you can just focus on doing something with the results. For example, create new content, or in the case of my customer, I told you before, they don't have to pay somebody to just take care of the delivery and the logistics of the stuff. So this was all, more or less. There's a lot more into Make that you can do for sure. We just saw the gist of it. You understand what you could do. Just a quick number I can tell you. Make the platform itself connects more than 1,500 services inside. We saw just a few of them, but you can connect any e-shop or that you want. You can connect several AI, you can connect CRM, you can connect databases outside Airtable or Minox or whatever. They have a lot of already working services inside, and you can, if you know a bit of API or if you know how to do HTTP calls, you can just use the module to call the API you want if it's not already provided by name. So, just the last thing before. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is, if you scan this QR code, you're going to go into a landing page I provide, where you can find materials I need for this workshop, and also all my contacts. The website is automations.planningproject.it, and thank you all for time. And I hope you will use Make to understand what the powerful automation you can use in your daily life to free up time and work better and not harder. Thank you very much.